Currently, in World of Tanks Blitz, there is one autoloading Tier 9 Soviet premium heavy tank known as the K91, an incredibly powerful vehicle, and honestly one of the best Tier 9s in the game. However, what I have in front of you is the Object 752. This Tier 9 Soviet heavy tank is also an autoloader, a two-shot autoloader, very similar to an M5 Yo. It's got incredible DPM, very strong armor, and it seems like this is going to be one incredible vehicle when it does get released into the game. However, one thing I do want to point out is that the statistics and armor and gameplay I'm going to be showing you of this vehicle in today's video is obviously in testing, as this tank is currently in super test. So what that means is that I can't really get you a professional opinion of this tank because it could be changing statistically in the future, and obviously I am personally not allowed to drive it. It was just funny that during my live stream, I think a couple days ago, somebody asked me to play the 2 and 5B, and you'll notice that his royal fatness out of all people was the one that I found stuck in the Object 752. So he's going to be our lucky guest today while we talk about the tank and showcase just what it can do from our point of view while he drives the vehicle. Now what I'm going to do is break into these statistics first so you know what the vehicle is like statistically on the alpha damage, DPM, clip reload, and then you'll have an idea of how it's going to play in battle while we actually watch a replay just from my point of view instead of his. I don't know why Wargaming doesn't just let the tester share the replays. I mean, I can literally see what the tank plays like during its testing phase from my point of view, just watching him, but yet the testers can't show it. It makes no sense. Either way, we're going to break over to blitzing. We're going to talk about these statistics. First, hit points, not a lot actually. It's got 2,120, which makes it the lowest hit point pool heavy in Tier 9. Not a lot at all. 2,120. That is 400 less than a Moishin. And if we make our way over to like the IS-8 and you're running hit point buff on it, then it's got about 2,173. So yeah, not a lot of hit points, but it'll still be plenty to make you weather through the storm. View range is actually very good at 282.5 meters though, so that's pretty solid there. And damage per minute for an autoloader? Wow, 2,871. That seems crazy high for an autoloading vehicle, especially at Tier 9. This isn't Tier 10. This will now be one of the highest DPM Tier 9s in the game, especially when it comes to a heavy tank, the highest. So that's pretty insane. Penetration looks okay. This is with calibrated, so 257 isn't anything insane. But the heat pen at 374, yeah, that's pretty stupid. I'll be honest, already this tank seems to be pretty dang insane. When we look at the damage per shot, it is 440, but this is an autoloader. So it gets 2 shells, and it can dump both of those shells out in a matter of 3 seconds. So it's got a 3-second intra clip, and that means in a matter of 3 seconds, you have dealt 880 damage, and then you back in the cover. That's pretty impressive. It's got a 15.39 second magazine reload time, and then you do it all over again. But man, does that DPM seem incredibly strong, especially with that heat pen. Wow, that is really, really scary. It's got some pretty good dispersion factors when driving the tank. In fact, the best in Tier 9, although when returning the turret, it's not anything crazy at 0.128. Base dispersion at 0.362 isn't anything amazing either, and neither is the aiming time at 2.92, especially because that's from PC value, so it's more like 4 seconds of aiming time. Yeah, I'll definitely say that the base values of dispersion and aiming time are pretty poor, but if you run this vehicle correct, what you're going to do is you're going to run Refined's gun. It's still going to have very, very accurate dispersion factors on move, and then your gun's going to be about 0.326 dispersion, making it actually pretty decent on the accuracy overall. Gun depression, well, unlike most Russian vehicles, this follows suit with the K91 at 8 degrees. Wow, yeah, that's also pretty insane. And it can go 38 kilometers per hour forward with a power-to-weight ratio of 14.58. It's definitely not the fastest of vehicles, especially on reverse speed. That only goes in at 12. But it's not slow by any means either, and it's even got a decent camouflage rating at 15%. So, just looking at the statistics already, I can tell you that this tank seems like it's a little bit too good. But wait, there's more. We're going to make our way over to the armor profile and show you just how good the armor is. Now this is with an Emil 2 shooting premium heat with Cali on. That's a lot of pen. Let's do standard. This is what it looks like for your average tier 9 when you're using standard ammunition. Now this is an oscillating turret and it can actually bend inside the hull. So if you use this vehicle correctly, you shoot the enemy twice and then you just stick up the hatches and there you go. You have no weak spots. So we're going to pretend that you're a smart person and you've hidden your weak spots. This is what the vehicle vehicle looks like hull down. Yes, there is a hatch here, but that is going to be almost impossible to hit when you think about it. I wouldn't even bother trying to shoot it. And the turret, yep, that's right, at weakest is 312 to 335. That means even with heat, you have a very, very hard time penetrating this vehicle. That is pretty insane, especially judging that tier 8s are going to have literally no chance. I mean, look at it on a mil 1 using premium ammo. Where do you pen it? You don't. The upper plate is completely impenetrable, upwards of 300 thick, and the turret, yeah, good luck. So let's make our way back up to the tier 9. Let's do the mil 2, because that's got pretty good heat pen. So, yeah, it's got some very good hull down capabilities. The upper plate, it's strong. It's 308 millimeters, and that means that no mediums are really going to pen it. Even on flat ground, it's upwards of 260. So it's got some pretty strong frontal armor. When we take a look at the sides, well, look how incredibly weird it is. It's got like a rounded part you can see here that kind of protrudes out. Yes, you can very easily shoot that. If you are good on your marksmanship and you know where to aim, you just aim right at this front track wheel and it'll go straight through the vehicle into that little bulge. But if you miss, then you're not going to penetrate it unless you hit the back part, which as well, you can see sticks out. So its armor is very weird. Hull down, you're not going to be able to see these weak spots, but if you do expose them, it looks like it will be quite an easy vehicle to penetrate. Side scraping wise, I don't think this will be the best vehicle to side scrape in, especially because that's only 72 millimeters thick. And yeah, that's still only about 150 even at this angle. So yeah, that's not great. Side armor wise, also a very, very easy penetration. Same for the rear. So it seems like all of the armor is kind of centered towards the front. And when you are using this hull down, let's say on a ridgeline like on mines or dead rail, you'll be pretty strong. But there are going to be maps where that mobility doesn't do great, and your sides get exposed to autoloaders, especially 57 heavies. I mean, a 57 heavy will literally eat you alive. But I do think that it's going to be quite troll, because if you don't aim correctly where you just snap a shot, especially at center mass, it's just not going to penetrate it. So very, very weird when it comes to the armor profile, especially how the hatches work on this tank. What we're going to do now is go back to the replay and see just how this tank plays. Let me go back to window. There you have it. And let's take a look. So as I said, 2-shell gun, and it's got a 3-second injure clip on the vehicle, which is pretty impressive. Let's just fly over to the tank. I wish I could like showcase how the gun works, but yeah, I'll watch it from my point of view. It'll be pretty easy to explain. So we've got a T-54 here, and maybe that's a FE2 and 5E1A3. There you go, 460 hit points, and the second shell. Oh, that one misses, but that's still pretty beefy. 440 for a single shot. I mean, that's insane. I'll be honest, I got absolutely bedonkered here, and that didn't even penetrate. Yeah, my luck at the beginning of this battle was unluck is what you like to call it. Even Fatness was like negative. So he pulls in front of me, does a great job, takes some shots from me, but just look at that gun, 462 and 382. I mean, that's about 900 hit points taken off, and well, I mean, at least I'm alive. I've dealt 400 damage in the battle, and I'm at 297 hit points. There's a reason why I do not love the FE2 and 5B, and it's just the fact that the tank doesn't really do much on the armor. But obviously, I don't care what I'm doing. Fatness gets a 1 shell into the enemy Guangdong, 496, and again, a second shell. Like, oh my god, is that insane. Like, what? The DPM seems incredible on the Object 752, and it doesn't seem incredible, it is incredible. If you can connect shells in the vehicle, it is going to hurt like hell. There you go, nice shot finishing off the enemy Conway. And aiming one more shell in, maybe a shot into the egg. Oh, unfortunately, it does not penetrate. Over here, I'm actually surprised I'm even getting out damage. By the way, if you want to see what this vehicle looks like hull down, don't want to go through the ground. This is what the tank would look like if you are looking at it through like a hull down situation. Something like this. That is a pretty well angled upper plate. And if it's using its 8 degrees of gun depression, it'll quite easily be able to aim at you like this. Yeah, that looks very impressive on the armor. And it's kind of a scary sight to think that this could be rolling around in tier 9. If you're in a tier 8, you're basically dead. So yeah, but it's definitely penetrable. I mean, you just watched him get penned by an AMX-50B. When it comes to tier 10s and their penetration, in fact, I can show you really quick because I didn't show this. Let's say we pull out a tier 10, for example, like the AMX-50B. So let's make our way over to France, and here's the 50B. While that turret is very strong, yeah, premium shells from tier 10s are going to butter through the turret, and you've got to keep that in mind. Even if you try and angling it, it's just, you're not going to do anything. You're going to be penned every time. So that is one thing, is that against tier 10s, it seems pretty balanced on the armor. It's just that it still has good armor, and the gun seems Just stupid. So let me make my way back over to Blitz, and let's continue this replay. I'm trying to get some damage out here. We're up to 1900, which is quite surprising. I was even able to get that much out. Another big shot from Fatness there. What do we got? We got the 50B there, and oh my god, what is this Shag doing? Well, now he's down 400 health, so obviously not anything very productive, and this was actually a pretty solid win. I'll give Fatness credit. If he did not block me, I would have died. And that is one nice thing about having a competent teammate, is the fact that you can actually do something. I would have done nothing. I mean, Fatness probably would have farmed 5,000 damage or even more, but I do actually, I'm quite happy that I was able to survive that battle. Too bad I couldn't get the final bit of damage out in this game, but hey, nice snap right into the frontal armor of the enemy Jägerpanzer. And there you have it. Pretty solid game when it comes to the FE2 and 5B. We'll wait until you see how much damage Fatness is able to rack up in the 7.5.2. Didn't look like he did much, at least on damage-wise. Just kind of shot the Kranvong, did a couple shots here and there. Didn't even penetrate all of his shells, but wait until you see how much damage that vehicle picked up for such a short battle. And again, this is a tier 9 tank, not a tier 10, a tier 9. Oh yeah, 3,552 damage. It's pretty cracked, I'll be honest. Right now, even though the armor is penetrable for tier 10s, I think that the tank is too strong. I think that the DPM needs to be around 2,400, even 2,300. I think everything else is fine. It's just the fact that it has too much damage per minute. And maybe nerf the heat pen a bit. Tier 9 shouldn't have 374 millimeters of heat pen. But let me know what you guys think about that in the comments down below. Just imagine an ST1 right now is what I'd say for mobility-wise and other similarities. Imagine an ST1 but with a dual shotgun, 8 degrees, which it has, and yeah, just extra damage per shot, an extra 40 damage between both clips. Pretty stupid. Either way, that's my personal opinion on the vehicle. Let me know what you guys think about it in the comments down below. And if you'd like to see more content like this in the future, please consider smashing that subscribe button. I'll be seeing you in the next one. Bye-bye.